Hey guys, what's up? I'm Noah, this is Analog Resurgence, and today I'm taking a look at Ilford's black and white negative film, FP4. A little while ago I looked at Ilford's HP5 film, and today we're turning our focus to another super classic black and white film in Ilford's lineup, FP4. FP4 is a 125 ISO film, which is available in 35mm, 120 medium format, and large format sheet film. So you've definitely got your choice when it comes to this stuff. Just like HP5, FP4 is one of those films that has been around for decades, and it has cemented itself for a lot of people as being one of their favorite black and white films. With a lower ISO of 125, it does need more light and a little more care in comparison to shooting HP5, which has an ISO of 400. But FP4 is still pretty easy to work with. It has a great range, and you can also kind of tailor the results that you're getting from it around like the developing workflow that you're taking with it. For the roll reviews on the channel, I take a really kind of just general approach to developing this stuff. I'm not looking for crazy results. I'm just using Kodak HC110 developer as kind of like a general purpose developer for all of my stuff. And FP4 is designed to be pretty flexible, so you can do things like push it all the way to like 3200 ISO when developing, or even pull it back a little bit and develop it as a 50 ISO film instead. So push and pull processing for FP4 is definitely not like out of the question. It's something I'd be interested in playing around with more in the future, and I've been kind of thinking about maybe eventually doing like deep dives on like single film stocks where I look at them in like a variety of situations. But with this stuff, for the roll reviews, I do like to go pretty general so that a lot of people can just kind of make fast, easy, informed decisions on like what the film is, what it might look like for them, and just kind of what they'll get in like a really general sense. And if you want to see the results of everything that I post for the roll reviews, like all the images, then they are on the Patreon. If you're interested in heading over there and checking out the link in the description, you can support the channel. FP4 has a nice, easy to work with contrast to it, allowing for like further editing later on if you're getting your film scanned. It captures your scenes and retains good shadow and highlight detail so you can get the most out of the scenes that you're capturing. It's not going to give you like a really harsh, divisive look. It is designed to just kind of be like an easy, pretty general purpose, pretty easy to work with, and enjoyable film to shoot. It's not going to be something like Japan Camera Hunter Street Pan that has like a really harsh contrast, or like Ilford's Ortho Plus, which is an orthochromatic film that lacks light sensitivity to the red color spectrum. Things like FP4 and HP5 are films that really round out the available options out there for things if you're looking for just like a good, quick, easy to pick up film and get out there and start shooting black and white. It's a nice sharp looking film, and just doing scans of this on a flatbed Epson V700 has given me images that I'm really happy with. The grain itself for FP4 looks good on the images, and because it's a lower ISO film, it's also not too harsh either. I do feel like FP4 has sort of like this fluffy, kind of creamy look to it in certain areas, in both the grain and the highlight areas. It can be like a little dreamy here, and I would say that you could really tailor shots around this characteristic to make the most of it. See, if we look here at the sky and like the brighter area around the building, it really kind of halos out around the edge just a bit. But also that might end up being more of an acquired taste that isn't for everyone. In comparison to HP5, we see of course like a different grain because they have different ISOs. But HP5 definitely lacks the softer, more dreamy aspects of FP4. I also shot a roll of this in 120 in my Mamiya Universal here, and it shines in large format for the amount of detail that can be captured. That kind of look on the highlights is something that really carries over nicely to 120. It's still here in some of the brighter areas, but it maybe isn't as pronounced as I got in some of my 35 shots. FP4 in 120 I think looks great for the contrast here, and like a nice low ISO in 120 because of the size of the film itself really reduces the grain and makes things look really nice sometimes. FP4 is giving us like a nice medium range of contrast, good amount of shadow and highlight detail. It definitely might be one of those films that could find like a permanent spot in your repertoire as like a lower ISO black and white film that's pretty easy to kind of get out and use. I like FP4, I really liked it in 120, and I do definitely like it more than HP5. HP5 does feel more just like kind of a general black and white film, and FP4 is still that in terms of like a nice medium contrast, but I do feel like FP4 has more of like a characteristic to it in comparison to HP5. Again, your results might vary with this stuff, and I'm sure there are people out there who have awful, terrible results and a bad time shooting FP4, but this is maybe just like a general sense of what you're gonna get. It's not going to be like a super crazy, super like experimental kind of film. It's just like a nice general purpose, low ISO film. Thank you guys so much for watching and checking this out. I know this was like a shorter one, but you know, FP4 and like HP5 and a lot of these general purpose ones kind of speak for themselves. Not every film needs like a whole technical history lesson to go along with it, I think. But of course I do want to hear kind of like your own personal experiences and like workflows and stuff that you like to do or that you have experienced with when shooting FP4 for yourself. Large format, medium format, 35, whatever you've been shooting it in, let me know in the comments down below. Also links for getting your own FP4 if you're having a hard time like sourcing a roll. Information for Pro 8mm out in California if you're looking for like Super 8 and 16mm in the motion picture stock films side of things. The information for the Patreon and the P.O. Box down in the description. So let me know what you guys think about that and you know what you're shooting and what you want me to see and what your favorite Ilford film is as well. And thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you guys soon.